Hello and welcome to the weekly news update. It's not on the weekend this week because it is Christmas and there is just so much I still need to do. But today we are absolutely packed out before 2024 begins with new tracking features, Quest 3 enhancements, huge VR mods and more. So I think that is enough chin wagging. Let's get started. So we have lots of good news, and I'm going to start off with the Quest 3 enhancements that have finally dropped for Asgard's Wrath 2. It didn't release with the Quest 3 enhancements, and the game was already stunning with its Quest 2 optimizations. This was a bundled free game for the Quest 3 purchases from its launch into January, so you'd expect this game to be all about the Quest 3. So don't forget to actually activate this, otherwise you'll lose it. So if you're getting one for Christmas, activate this game immediately. So now the game will actually run at 90 Hz for a smoother experience, and there is also a resolution update for sharper imagery and LOD distance, which has been extended, because in a game where everything is huge, everything has such scale, LOD distance being extended will actually give you a massive sense of improved visuals and detail. Sanzaru Games are actually looking to further upgrades next year as well in 2024, but as of yet what they are, who knows? But it's amazing that we get a game like Asgard's Wrath 2 on this system. Gosh, it's amazing. I can't believe Upload gave it 3 out of 5. That's what it gave Wallace and Gromit. Now, the Quest Pro gets something that is rather suspicious. Not sure if this was a VR chat request, a VR tuber request, or a Pronhub request. But it now has tongue tracking. In version 60 of the tracking SDK, it has the ability to pick up your tongue. The meta avatars haven't been updated to support this, but the OpenXR extension in Unity has. So third parties can actually leverage this right now. And someone already has. So the wireless streaming app ALVR has something coined the VR FCT, which is face capture tracking that has already been updated to support the tongue tracking. So if this was something you were eager to try, you can try this through that streaming application. Well worth those $1,500, Meta. Gosh, I really feel they did people dirty with the Pro headset. My golly. Moving on to the next story. You want 2D apps? Here are some more. For work. So they have brought us Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint so we can use it inside our headsets. But they're using something called PWAs, which are progressive web applications, which put simply are just website shortcuts. So it's not a native application, it's a web application. So this means you can use the multi-panel setup though, so you can enjoy some multitasking, and it will support keyboard usage. That's one of the benefits, at least the fact that it has a default application. You're going to have support for things like a keyboard that is connected via Bluetooth to your headset. I know, it's crazy, right? Settle down. But moving on to something slightly more riveting is the Apple Vision Pro looks to be coming sooner than we initially thought. Bloomberg reporting, so be warned, of course, a grain of salt, but the reliable source had previously made claims around the features this device would have, and they were correct. So apparently production is ramping up in China, and I love this about Apple, designed in California, made in China, with the aim to stock shops in January and be available for purchase in February in the United States, with another report claiming that there is going to be staff training mid-January for these devices so it can show it off to users in the best way possible. And that's not very long for us to find $3,500. Unfortunately, as I just said, it is the US only, so the rest of the world we are going to have to wait, but we can we'll let the States be the guinea pigs and see how it works out before we make the purchase. So I appreciate it in some sense. Before moving on, just one little drop of respect before moving on to some sweet modded titles. May the Windows mixed reality platform rest in peace. Even though it's called mixed reality, it was VR only. But anyway, that's beside the point. Microsoft are now dropping this platform. Are any of you still using the Windows MR, or are you using the Steam driver through it? The headsets that utilise this platform were not even terrible, it was just the tracking seriously needed updating on them. But I guess with the growth of Meta and the support of Meta, Steam and Vive platforms, it kind of makes sense for them to bow out. But this deprecation is going to occur in 2026 for us consumers and 2027 for businesses, so there is some time for us to move over. Hopefully Valve drops a PC VR headset that we've been waiting for, and we can move over to the Steam platform if you haven't already. Your headset is still going to work with Steam if you do not upgrade your version of Windows that will no longer have the Windows MR packaged with it, so be aware of that when the time comes. If we're moving into 2026, if you remember Steve telling you in this video in years to come, be like, oh yeah, gosh, Steve told me not to upgrade my Windows so I can still play VR. Thanks. And another bit of sad news, First Contact Entertainment just announced their departure as well from the VR scene due to lack of VR support. It's kind of sad to see such a staple in the VR space bringing amazing games like Firewall to leave this space, whilst also kind of tainting the look of the industry, leaving with that comment around VR support. But you will be missed. It's just sad that we had to leave like this. It's not me. It's you. No, it's the other way around, isn't it? It's not you, it's me, but in this case it was the right way around. Moving on to some cool games, some mods. We have mod 2 times, 2 mods, 2 games, and the first of which is from Luke Ross. He has dropped another modification, and this time it is for Far Cry 5. This is available to be played right now with the modification. You will need to own the game before doing that, but you know, there's places you can get this cheap, and it is Far Cry 5. It's not like it's a brand new game, and in true Luke Ross fashion, it's not going to support motion controls. Instead, it will provide head tracking with a stereoscopic view, which is still an amazing way to play a first-person experience. The game is already pretty darn stunning. You might need a good PC to run this, but some people are very against non-motion controlled VR, but for me, it's this happy medium where you can see these stunning worlds that these developers have created and had great funding for in VR, but play it in a way where the majority of gamers who are familiar with the franchise, but maybe not into VR as much, it can bring them into this space. I look forward to the Christmas break where I can finally put my feet up and enjoy things like this. Sometimes you just want to be lazy. I'll link Luke Ross's Patreon down below in the description. You have to sign up so you can get access to his mods, not just this mod, or the previous modifications as well. And now, one of the most incredible Zeldas ever has VR support. Majora's Mask has an official release from Brian MP16, and the beta was shown over a year ago, but it is finally done. It's finally released for the public. The camera shake has apparently been removed, so it's a smooth experience, although when I was looking at some of the video footage, there is some shake sometimes. This is built off an old version of Dolphin VR with tons of custom code added to make this possible. Because if you've experienced Dolphin VR before, it can be an absolutely disgusting experience sometimes. So lots of work has to go into it to make sure that it is a smooth and playable experience. When I played Ocarina and I was on a 4090, it absolutely chugged, because sometimes it's just not about the performance. The code is just not optimized, so it looks like some work's gone in, so it is actually playable. It also looks to have motion controls for slashing enemies, breaking pots, and worldly interactions, so amazing if you're an absolute VR veteran that must have motion controls, and if you're a Zelda fan, I'll link it down below in the description. Now, this mixed reality title looked so cool, but there was a few comments that cracked me up about it. So this looks to be a Quest 3 mixed reality co-located ball game where you are able to pass the ball between people to try and score points. But the comment that got me was you could just buy a ball instead of dropping thousands on all of these headsets, and it tickled me pink. But having a mixed reality game like this offers more than real world physics can, such as the ball in this game can be controlled and bent around things. Also special effect overlays that you can't get in real life to make things a bit more exciting. The game does include training modules as well, so you don't have to just compete against people. You can train ready for that session when we can all meet up and play together. This is something that I think we should all whip out if we ever do a gaming convention and all the VR fans are together in one place. That would be pretty darn cool. But I better start running. I don't want to be out of breath. Anyway, that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hopefully there was something here that got you excited, something that will keep you perked up and excited around VR for the Christmas period. Hit subscribe so you can spread VR cheer. Have a great week. Happy gaming. Good day.